Hi, everyone. Welcome to our podcast, where we talk about interesting topics to help you learn English. I'm Helena, and I'm so happy you're here.
And I'm Edward. Thank you for joining us. Today, we're talking about a topic that is very important for everyone's jobs.
That's right, Edward. Jobs are such an important part of our lives. A job is something we do to earn money so we can buy food, clothes, and other things we need.
Exactly, Helena. But a job is not just about money. It's also about doing something meaningful and feeling proud of what we do.
That's true. People have all kinds of jobs. For example, some people work in offices, some work in schools, and some work outside, like farmers or construction workers.
Yes, and every job is important in its own way. Imagine if we didn't have doctors or teachers or even people who clean the streets. Life would be very difficult.
Absolutely, Edward. Each job helps the community in some way. For example, teachers help children learn, and doctors help people stay healthy. What do you think makes a job interesting, Edward?
Good question, Helena. I think a job is interesting when it matches your skills and interests. For example, if you love animals, working as a vet might be very exciting for you. What about you?
I agree, Edward. Loving what you do is very important. If you enjoy your job, it doesn't feel like work. But sometimes, people do jobs they don't enjoy because they need to earn money.
That's true. Not everyone has their dream job, but many people still work hard to take care of their families. Speaking of dream jobs, Helena, what's your dream job?
Good question. I think my dream job would be to work as a travel writer. I love traveling and writing, so it would be amazing to combine the two. What about you, Edward?
That sounds exciting, Helena. For me, I've always wanted to be a chef. I enjoy cooking and trying new recipes, so being a chef would be a lot of fun.
That's a great dream, Edward. Cooking is such an amazing skill. But you know, getting a job isn't always easy. People need to prepare for it. For example, they need to learn skills, write a resume, and go to interviews.
That's so true, Helena. Let's talk about resumes first. A resume is a document where you write about your education, work experience, and skills. It's very important because it shows employers what you can do.
Exactly. And then there's the job interview. That's when you meet with the employer and answer their questions. It's your chance to show them why you're the best person for the job.
Yes, and job interviews can be a little scary, but practice makes it easier. It's good to think about questions like, why do you want this job? Or what are your strengths?
That's great advice, Edward. And don't forget to dress nicely and be polite. First impressions are very important.
Definitely, Helena. You know, some people work for companies, but others start their own businesses. That's called being self-employed.
That's right, Edward. Being self-employed means you're your own boss. It's a lot of work, but it can also be very rewarding.
Yes, and many self-employed people start small businesses, like opening a shop, offering a service, or creating something to sell. It takes courage to do that.
It really does. And whether you work for a company or yourself, teamwork is often very important. Many jobs require people to work together to get things done.
Absolutely. Good communication and teamwork make a big difference. It's also important to respect your coworkers and help them when you can.
That's so true, Edward. Jobs teach us many things, like how to solve problems, manage time, and work with others.
Yes, and jobs can also be a great way to meet new people and make friends. Some of my closest friends are people I met at work.
That's wonderful. Edward, work is not just about doing tasks. It's also about building relationships and learning from others.
Exactly, Helena. And you know, some people have more than one job. For example, they might work during the day and study or do another job in the evening.
That's very common, Edward. It can be hard to manage, but many people do it to achieve their goals.
Yes, and it shows how hardworking people can be. Everyone's journey is different, but the important thing is to keep moving forward.
Welcome back, everyone. In the last part, we talked about the importance of jobs, preparing for interviews, and even dream jobs. Let's keep the conversation going. Edward, do you think it's important for people to love their jobs?
That's a great question, Helena. I think it's wonderful if people love their jobs, but sometimes it's not possible. Some people work hard in jobs they don't love because they need to support their families or save for the future.
That's true, Edward. Loving your job is great, but being responsible is even more important. And you know, jobs can sometimes be stressful, but there are ways to make work more enjoyable.
That's a good point, Helena. For example, staying organized can really help. If you plan your day well, it makes work less stressful.
Absolutely, and building good relationships with coworkers can also make a big difference. It's nice to have people at work who support you and make the day better.
So true, Helena. You know, jobs can also be a way to grow and learn. For example, when people take on new responsibilities, they develop new skills.
Exactly, Edward. And sometimes, jobs give us opportunities to travel, meet new people, or even learn about different cultures. That's so exciting.
It really is. And speaking of skills, Helena, what do you think are the most important skills for any job?
I'd say communication is one of the most important skills. Whether you're working in an office, a shop, or a factory, you need to know how to talk to people clearly and politely.
I completely agree. Communication is key. I'd also add problem solving. Many jobs require you to think quickly and find solutions to challenges.
That's a great point, Edward. And don't forget teamwork. Working well with others can make any job easier and more enjoyable.
Definitely, Helena. And one more skill I think is important is time management. Being on time and finishing tasks before deadlines shows that you're responsible.
That's true, Edward. And all these skills, communication, problem solving, teamwork, and time management can be learned and improved with practice.
Exactly. And you know, Helena, some people might not have a job right now, but they can still use their time to prepare for the future.
That's a good point, Edward. For example, they can learn new skills, take online courses, or even volunteer. Volunteering is a great way to gain experience and meet people.
Absolutely. And it's important to stay positive and keep trying. Finding a job can take time, but every small step counts.
That's so true, Edward. And you know, some people choose jobs not just for money, but because they want to help others. For example, teachers, nurses, and social workers.
That's a great point, Helena. These jobs make a big difference in the world. It's amazing how people use their skills to help others and make life better.
Yes, and it's also inspiring to see people follow their dreams, even if it takes time. Some people change jobs or careers later in life to do something they love.
That's so inspiring, Helena. It shows that it's never too late to learn something new or chase your goals.
Exactly, Edward. And no matter what job you have, every job teaches you something. It could be about working with people, solving problems, or even just being patient.
That's a great way to look at it. Helena, every experience, big or small, helps us grow.
So true, Edward. And as we wrap up, let's remember that every job is important, and every person who works hard deserves respect.
Well said, Helena. Let's summarize what we've talked about today. Jobs are more than just work, they're about learning, growing, and helping others.
And whether you're working your dream job or working to support your family, your efforts matter. Always remember to stay positive and keep learning.
Thank you so much for listening to our podcast today. We hope you enjoyed this conversation about jobs and learned some useful English words and phrases.
Yes, thank you. If you like this podcast, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and share it with your friends and family.
And if you have ideas for future topics, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your suggestions.
Thanks again for joining us. Take care, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye for now.
Goodbye, everyone.